Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahma Mirastriparan Takare. Banushashi Bhumi Sutta. Budasha Gurusha Shukra. Shani Rahu Keteva. Sarvigraha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om Gurave Namaha. Well, greetings, and I'm Cosmic Kev, and I'm your astrologer with 43 years plus of studying astrology.
Please like and subscribe. Please share.
In the words of Queen Jobless, my lovely wife Anna, I would love it if you would subscribe and share these with other people. So here I am. You know, I'm one who believes the stars were created by a master designer and creator, God Almighty, who has many names. And I also think that nature bats last, basically, and nature is a gift of our creator. And astrology is basically following nature. And so if you're following nature, these things make more sense. Now, I also do sidereal Vedic astrology, which is where the constellations actually have moved to, which is 24 degrees backwards from what most Westerners know as their signs, which are, Western astrology is very heliocentric, it's solar based, and Vedic astrology is more based on your rising sign and the moon, but most experienced Western astrologers say, the rising sign and the moon are everything, and so we'll go with it that. So let's talk about the moon. So today we had a full moon earlier this morning at 5:18 a.m. in a lunar mansion known as Bharani, which is in the constellation of Aries if you're looking at it in the sky. And the sun right now, even though we're in Scorpio season, is in the constellation of Libra in a part of the sky known as Swati, but it's moving tonight into Vishaka. So, and this is actually a place, this part of the sky is where Saturn actually gets exalted in Vedic sidereal astrology. So Bharani is about our youthful passions, and it's also about doing things obsessively. Whatever you like or enjoy, you do it with obsession. And sometimes there's a little bit of a refusal to grow up with the Bharani full moon. And in that sense, you're not always being mature. Now, because the full moon's opposite where the sun is, this is actually the part of the sky where Saturn gets debilitated. So, with this full moon. And so, you can get in trouble for not obeying the law type of thing. So you have to just demonstrate a little bit of caution while you're going out there. But it's generally speaking, it's good for artists, it's good for creative people. Now in Western astrology, we have Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Taurus, full moon in Taurus. That's an exalted moon. And Taurus is considered the most sensual and materialistic, and Scorpio is considered the most transcendental, transformational, and the most sexual. So when you put these two together, you get a lot of creative influence. It's a very creative day. It's a very creative week. The sun will move into the nakshatra called Vishaka, which is a triumphant gateway in Vedic astrology as we go through tonight and over the next 13 days. Yeah, we're going to have sun moving through Vishaka, which is 3/4 sidereal Libra, 1/4 Scorpio. We won't be into the Scorpio part until the 16th of November. So how do we have a victory? How do we get ourselves to this place of victory? And it's mostly through gratitude and making good alliances. We'll have more on that. So we're going to go sign by sign now according to Western astrology, so that's like Aries, you're born between the 20th or 21st of March and the 19th of April, that type of thing. But if you know your rising sign or moon sign and it matches that, you should pay attention to that as well. So, greetings Aries. Scorpio is about relinquishing control for Aries because it's the other Mars ruled sign and it comes in your 8th house. And Scorpio has this association with Pluto as well. So they're getting a little bit of higher information, whereas Aries is just very straightforward. You're very straightforward, and there's aspects of Scorpio that probably seem obtuse or not so clear. So we getting things clear is important, but also acknowledging other people's power. Now, Mars is in your ninth house now. It just moved into Sagittarius. So, this is a great place for travel. It's a great place for good fortune. It's a great place to learn different exercises, different forms of martial arts. And it's there with Mercury, loosely. And, a lot of times Mercury and Mars together make people want to argue. But if you're peaceful and cool about arguing, who cares? It's not that big a deal. Some people are culturally upset with arguments. And that's sad because you know what? We don't learn from each other if we're always in agreement. Oh, we all just see it like, come on. Let's be real, people. And Aries, you like the challenge. So we're just going to move on from there. And let's go over to Taurus. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. Full moon today in your sign, lovely. Scorpio is your partnership sign. So Scorpios and Tauruses tend to actually get along pretty well for the most part. There's exceptions to every rule. They both like good things. They like all the physical pleasures of life. And so they're both known for that. And they both have a lot of creative aesthetic abilities to contribute to. And they're mostly pretty chilled. Like Scorpios and Tauruses in relationships, they say it's a marriage that transcends death. Even that they seldom break up or something. I don't see it too often. I do have some friends who are that combination, and I've known some who were younger in that combination and have broken up. But overall, it's a pretty good matchup. And so, you're in a romantic place. Also, Venus is moving into Scorpio this week. And I wasn't, so it's moving into your seventh house. So that should be relatively lovely for you. And let's see when that happens. I believe it's, I imagine it was probably going to be on Friday, I would think, but for some reason, oh, come on now. I'm not even on the right day to look at this here. Yeah, it happens on Thursday at 2:39 p.m. Venus goes into Scorpio on Thursday, so tomorrow Venus is in Scorpio. It's in Vedic Libra today, though, and it will be in Vedic Libra while it's in Scorpio as well. So it's a good time for love. It's a good time to be creative. So keep that in mind as you go through your week and celebrate that. All right. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. So Mercury's in Sagittarius, your partnership sign, along with Mars. This could be a time where you demonstrate your best peacemaking skills. And peacemaking comes when everybody gets heard, when everybody feels like their voice is respected. That's the art that I think is really being lost a lot of times in these times, is people respecting views that are just different. And it's hard to do because our egos are so grandiose. Of course, with Sun debilitated in sidereal Libra, I don't think our egos are that big right now. And so maybe this is the best opportunity for peacemaking. And right now, Scorpio time, weather changes in the northern hemisphere. And so you got to watch your health. It's also a good time to do volunteer work, serve other people. That'll elevate your karma. All in all, I think we're going to have a good week. Moon is going to move into Gemini, I believe, on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I can be. But let's see. I think we have a moon going into Gemini Thursday morning. So I'll be in the Kritika Nakshatra that day. And so Thursday, Friday, moon's in Gemini. Geminis love that. Let's move on over to Cancer. So greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So for Cancer, Sun's moving through the fifth house, which is your children who you love and or tolerate or whatever it is that you're doing. And, you cook great meals for them. And this is a time of year where you become your own teacher, your own lucky person, good at traveling. Jupiter's in your first house. This is where Jupiter's exalted. Life is good. Jupiter's trining Saturn, so even limits, things that were hard, this is the time to try the difficult stuff because you can actually move them forward out of the area of challenges into a victory. So, incredible week for Cancer. And the weekend, the moon will be in Cancer. So, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic Saturday and Sunday with good feeling. Water sign sun, water sign moon. It's just good feelings all around. We love this. Moving it on over to Leo. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. So, when we get into, I guess, Monday, we'll have a moon in Leo, Monday, Tuesday. So, this week. So, we kind of end off this horoscope week with you being in your power. And those are powerful days because you've got those really strong will of Leo and that strong creative reflection of Scorpio. And then there's Armistice Day or Veterans Day. And so acknowledging people have done service for the country. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I feel like besides war, we need to make more opportunities for people to serve the country in ways, for instance, if our national parks are in trouble or national forest or other areas, we can expand things to be better everywhere as far as serving each other, the government. Not to have so much bigger government, but to have more opportunities to do good things like libraries and our public spaces. So keep that in mind, or roads and all those good things. Keep those going. Scorpio time is kind of an introspective time for Leo. It's a time where they stay home more. They deal with older, aging parents and with whatever their ancestry is. So, they celebrate the mystical aspects of Scorpio in their own homes. And, you'll have a early fly Monday and Tuesday this coming week. So that's the 10th and the 11th. So let's go on over to Virgo. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. Virgo and Scorpio do really well together because they're the midpoint for them is Libra. So there's this really beautiful balance in that relationship. And they both represent sort of like the endings of harvest season. And Virgo emphasizes sort of purity and the wilderness, and Scorpio emphasizes experiences and creative risk. And so there is a lot of things taking place in those realms together, and both of them represent healing on some level too. And so Virgo, Scorpio is in your third house, so that's the house of friends, siblings, working with your hands, songwriting, storytelling, being a writer, any kind of communication arts, making friends with your neighbors. All these things are important as we go through the week. And I guess the moon will be in Virgo next Wednesday on the 12th. Okay, let's go to Libra. Greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So Venus is in Libra today, but it's moving into Scorpio tomorrow. And it'll still be sidereal Libra if you're a later born Libra or later degrees of Venus Libra. So there's a lot of creative juice. And Scorpio time is about your possessions. It's about your family. It's about your neck and lower jaw and how you get your self-image. And so I think that there's money coming. You have to kind of restrain yourself from spending too much as we go through the week. And the weekend looks like you'll be more likely to either be at work or doing something in the public eye, because Cancer rules your 10th house of career and stuff. And Jupiter's there, so I mean, things should be moving forward and going really good for you. Well, greetings, Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. So, wishing happy birthdays to my Scorpio friends out there. I know my friend Curtis over in Encino. He is turning 64, I believe, this week. And I've got a few of you. I want to give a shout out to Kapil Raj, one of my favorite Vedic astrology teachers. I believe his birthday is November 7th, maybe the 6th. And to Terry Sandusky over in Bend, Oregon, who helps with the Bend Healing Arts. Happy birthday to her. She's hitting the big 5-5. Remember, Terry, 55 saves lives. And other people who are having birthdays this week. I mean, I live in a town that has allegedly a lot of Scorpios. So, Donovan Ray tomorrow. My beloved's son, Donovan, is turning 21. Look out, world. And happy birthday to Donovan. Yeah, and my friend Gianna's birthday's on the 7th, and Colleen Delaney. Colleen is having a big birthday. It's one of my favorite positions. I won't say what it is, but it's a good birthday. And everyone can, enjoy birthdays this week that are having birthdays. Brenda, who plays harp at the farmer's market, Brenda is turning 67 on the 11th. So, she's a lovely harp player. You'd never believe she was that experienced. She looks so good and young. Yeah, so happy birthday to all these amazing Scorpio people. And so, I mean, this is your season for renewal, Scorpio. Everything's kind of opening up for you. Transformation is the name of the game with Scorpio, and you'll continue to do better. Venus in your first house. It's like this extra deliciousness coming your way. Okay. Greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Now, for Sagittarius, Scorpio season's kind of like the time you kind of lay low. Check out your spiritual life. Go to a wilderness area and enjoy the wilderness. We've got, Jupiter is in Cancer right now in the 8th house. So this is really a time to pay attention to your spiritual life, discover the mysteries, things you're interested in, the occult, the I Ching, astrology, all those things. I mean, it's okay to study. I just say it's like do no harm, don't harm anybody. You have to deal with health issues. Uranus is going back into your 6th house. It's going back into Taurus this week, and I didn't talk about that, but so all these outer planets, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, I think they're all like closer to us right now. They're going retrograde, and so there's a lot of what I'd call interplanetary transformation going on. Jupiter's going to go retrograde too, or just did. So there's this timing, there's this thing where we need to seek our higher selves, and your communication is good, your energy is good. You got Mars in the 1st house. It's just you kind of have to watch your back a little bit, and then in the afternoon of the 21st of November, Sun will move into Sagittarius, and it'll be all yours, baby. All right. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, the nice part is Jupiter in the 7th house, which facilitates better relationships. Capricorn celebrates Scorpio being in the 11th house. So this is a good period for you to make money. It's a good time for making friendships, for meeting important people, going to parties, and being involved socially in whatever way you want to. You might have an older sibling that's helpful. This is a good time to investigate their trip. Beyond that, I'd say that, today is a good day for you. Use a little caution Thursday and Friday, and the weekend looks wonderful, romantic, great times. You go, Capricorn. All right. Greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So whenever you have Pluto in the 1st house, it's about insights. It's about personal transformation. And since Pluto is like one of those really far out there planets, it's like you'll see things that no one else is seeing. And you love this. Scorpio deals with your midheaven, what your public karma is, how you deal with work, how you work with other people. And it's an interesting thing. I mean, Scorpio for Aquarius is probably a sign you would make fun of. in some ways, but it's also one that facilitates your operational way at work. So there is, there's always undercurrents, and you have to deal with those undercurrents at the workplace. It's also using, Aquarius has a reputation for being very innovative. And Scorpio is a very imaginative sign. So I think you could come up with a lot more innovations this week as we're with work. And, Thursday and Friday with Moon and Gemini, those will be really nice days for you. So enjoy that. All right, the wind up. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. So Neptune's in your first house again, albeit retrograde. And Saturn's in your first house again, too. And so it's like we have to deal with all kinds of issues. What our restrictions are is what Saturn's about. Our potential to flow and to meet God, to meet the most high vibe and divine energy is in Neptune. But it's also a place where there's sometimes scandals and deception and illusion. And we want to protect ourselves from those things. We want to come together with a really clear light. I often think of one of the most famous Pisces people in the creative world is George Harrison. George Harrison was a Pisces, and his first solo album, All Things Must Pass, he looks like a vicar or a priest. He's in this kind of dark thing with stained glass behind him, and it's a little bit eerie, but it's also sort of devotional. He does a song, My Sweet Lord, on it. Mm-hmm. I think that's the tip, is take it from George Harrison. Keep it on that kind of vibe. Scorpio is a great sign for Pisces. It brings good fortune. It brings luck. And relationships that are long distance tend to happen more when Venus is in your ninth house. And we learn from so many different things from people this time. And you've got a lot of intelligence. You've got energy to perform things for other people. All in all, share your gifts. The weekend's going to be great for you, by the way, Pisces. And that's all I have to say for this week's YouTube Cosmic Kev 100. Thank you for being here. Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat.